Hi there, everyone. This is a video response to Homesteadacres. I don't know your name, but I'd like to say hello. I've been watching your videos for some time, and I would encourage anyone who, of course, I'll have his link to his channel. He's doing a lot of great stuff up in Canada, and I've been following a lot of what he's been doing. But I wanted to respond to your last video about precious metals or gold and the economic collapse. It seems that you have a philosophical problem with the fact people collecting gold. You mentioned Vision Victory and his belief in gold and silver. I have a similar belief that you should hedge your inflation with gold and silver. You brought up a point that if it's a regular type of inflation situation, that's a good thing. If not, you were begging a question that basically indicated, well, I can't heat my home with gold and silver. I can't feed my family with gold and silver. I can't eat it, in other words. And I'm going to respond to your questions. And no, I didn't consider what you were saying as mocking or downplaying what a lot of us believe. I look at gold and silver like my grandparents, my parents, and my great-grandparents before us. I am Jewish, and based on our belief system, we look at gold and silver more than just a hedge against inflation. We look at it as a financial fire extinguisher. I use this example with someone in an email. They were asking me, should I sell my silver now or whatever? And my response was, you don't give away or you don't sell your fire extinguisher because you didn't have a house fire yet. Gold and silver are a base, both physically and psychologically. It is a practice amongst many Jews, particularly from my experience, that we pass that gold and silver down, and we encourage and teach our children and their children to add on to it. And we keep it approximately 20 to 25% of our total overall income. I personally, everybody does it a little differently. Some people do it as your overall income. I do it as your, everything you own. So if you own your home, or even if you have a home and you're mortgaging your home, in other words, which I would not agree to, but I'm just using it as an example, the value of your home should be part of that total number. So whatever 20% of that total number is, you should keep and hold on to. And it is not meant to be used. It's meant to be held on to. And I'll explain what I mean by that. It changes your perspective when you have money in the bank versus when you have debt. If you are deeply indebted, for example, you have a different perspective of needs, wants, and desires than somebody who has savings, whether it's cash in the bank, cash stock portfolio, or gold and precious metals in this sense. It changes your perspective. It makes you see the world differently in this concept that you have something, you have quote-unquote skin in the game, you want to be part of your community. It changes who you are, and it changes the perspective. Now, I'm not saying that, does it make you incredibly wealthy? Well, relatively speaking, 20% of something is better than 100% of nothing. So that is the rationale. Now, to go on to what you were saying about the Amish, you made some kind of statement about how Jews do not allow other Jews to lend money with interest. You have that slightly wrong. We do not lend money. Jews, yes, do not lend other Jews money with interest. But the folks that you're referring to are the Hebrews. Jews are only one tribe. I know I'm being nitpicky, but I'm trying to make a point here. You pointed out the similarities between the Amish Mennonites and the practices of the early Israelites and the Hebrews, ultimately the Jews. This is a practice that everyone who believes in one God, who believes in the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, should not lend money or give money to one another at interest. there is a profit margin there. It's a Bible principle. It's a God principle that when you gift people money as charity, and not charity in the sense that, oh, you poor little person, but you get together as a community and buy that family a house. For example, like the Amish have barn raisings and whatever. It keeps you from being shackled to the society through debt. It makes you free. It makes you free spiritually. It makes you free mentally. It makes you free physically. And that freedom gets passed. That freedom gets passed through to your children. Children are one of the greatest perceivers of truth. If you ever want to know, if you ever want to see why, ask yourself why your children are behaving or misbehaving. Look at yourself. They perceive you. They perceive how you see yourself spiritually, physically, and mentally. And part of that perception is having savings. And part of that perception is being part of a community. In Hebrew, it's called kibbutz, or a kibbutzim. It has been hijacked in the 60s, 40s, 50s, and 60s by Jewish socialists to refer to communal communist farming system. But kibbutzim is a greater concept. It is the concept of the community working together and helping one another. So as a perspective from outside my belief system, I would like to share with you a concept. It amazes the heck out of me when I go to friends' weddings that are not Jewish, and a few that are, where they spend $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 on a wedding, and they have no place to live. I would argue with you that if you're thinking about getting married, I would say in lieu of that, ask people just give you money so that you have a down payment for a home, or be able to buy a home straight out. So Homestead Acres, you're partially correct. Community is super important. Through community, through the whole concept of the kibbutz as the community, you can grow and be popular. The population greater. The Mennonites understand that concept. Certain Orthodox Jews understand that concept, and you are hitting on that concept. But don't look at gold and silver and precious metals as something that is apart from you because you see yourself in a different way. That is part and parcel of being a family person, a family man. Having something that when all hell breaks loose. In my house, gold and silver is the payer of last resort, not the Federal Reserve. It's real, it's honest, and it will, in extreme cases, may save your life. But it is not the end-all and be-all of being part of that community. So you are correct in that regard. Community is important. We should share and be part of that community. We should get together with like-minded people. I think the time is running short for that. But don't turn your nose up to gold and silver. It should be part of your inheritance to your children. Because in Judaism, our immortality is in our children. So what better way to secure our immortality but by giving our children every opportunity and teaching them how to operate those opportunities and grow them. So that's my response to you. Peace.